All right, thanks, guys. Brooklyn takes on Orlando, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in the Sunshine State. Brooklyn open -1 down to a pick'em contest. Totals at 216. 63% are leaning Brooklyn Nets. 69% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Orlando Magic is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 at home. They're covering 75% of their ball games that tipped off at the current number. Orlando ranks 7th in defensive scoring. They're also covering 60% of their games as the official home dog. Now we have Dudley out with a hammy, Crabbe out with a knee, all for Brooklyn. And when it comes to the scoring, Orlando's 60% to the over in their games that tipped off at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Orlando in the pick'em contest and the over 216 in that one. And before we go ahead and proceed, I just want to take a quick timeout and just welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Friday's NBA action. Happy Friday. The weekend is finally here. But before we go ahead and tap into some more games, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/Brock Page. And with a documented record of 10-5 in my last 15 daily best plays, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month, and that is the package that gets you the daily best play. It only starts at $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Go ahead and open your browser and type in patreon.com/Brock Page. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. The link is in the description section below to make it a lot easier for you. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Memphis at Boston. That's going to be a 7 o'clock tip-off in Beantown. The Celtics are -10.5. Total open 206 up to 206 and a hook. 56% are leaning Celtics. 59% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Grizzlies are +480 for some money line cash. Now for Memphis, we have Parsons out, Anderson out with an ankle, and Brooks out for the season with a leg injury. Memphis is also just 1-10 against the spread in their last 11. 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. Memphis ranks just 29th in scoring, 30th in total offensive rebounding. And when it comes to the scoring, Memphis is 6-1 to the over in their last 7 taking on Boston, if you're into historical trends. Meanwhile, the Celtics are 13-5 to the over in their last 18. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take Boston -10 in the over 206.5 in that one. Next game, Miami, Detroit, 7 o'clock tip-off in the Motor City. Detroit open 2, down to -1.5. Total open 206 and a hook, up to 207.5. 51% are leaning Detroit, 74% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Heat are +105 for some money line cash. Now, Detroit's 3-0 against the spread in their last trio of ball games, 2-1 straight up in that same category. Meanwhile, on the Miami side, we have Dragic out with a knee, Johnson questionable with an illness. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6. Now, scoring-wise, Miami's 8-3 to the over in their last 11. Detroit, 75% to the over in their games that were played at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and take Detroit -1 and the over 207.5 in that one. Next game, Spurs, Timberwolves, 8 o'clock tip-off in Minnesota. The T-Wolves open 1, up to -1.5. Total open 226, down to 225. 52% are leaning San Antonio, 56% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Spurs are +105 for some money line cash. Now, guys, I get it. I understand it. Minnesota absolutely laid an egg against Philadelphia the other night. I understand that. I get it. Sometimes that happens. You just lay an egg. You just don't show up. Keep in mind, Minnesota's still 4-2 straight up in their last 6. They've successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 6 games. They also rank 8th in free throw shooting percentage, 4th in offensive rebounding at home. And they're also 13-6 against the spread in their last 19 at home. So there might be a little recency bias in this one. Just keep in mind, Minnesota, very good in certain spots here. Now, scoring-wise, Minnesota's just 25% to the over in their games at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, slide it down, and take the Minnesota. It's like I'm from Long Island. Minnesota Timberwolves -1 and the under 225 in that one. All right, next game, it is going to be Cavaliers at the Jazz, 9 o'clock tip-off in Utah. The Jazz are -15, total open 214, up to 214.5. 57% are leaning Utah, 61% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Cavs are plus 1150 for some money line cash. Now, the Cavs backers certainly have some tough sledding ahead of them. They're taking on a Utah team who's 8-4 against the spread in their last dozen at home. They're covering 62% of their games, taking on teams under 450. Meanwhile, Cleveland just 9-36 straight up overall for the season, 1-13 straight up in their last 14 ball games. Cleveland ranks 28th in scoring, 30th in defensive field goal percentage, and they're just 1-8 against the spread in their last 9 in Utah if you're into historical trends. Now, scoring-wise, Cleveland 7-1 to the over in their last 8. Their defense is allowing 114 points per contest when traveling. Cleveland's also got Thompson out with a foot, Larry Nance out with a knee, and Nwaba out with a knee as well. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Utah -15 and the over 214.5 in that one. Next game, Golden State at the Clippers. 10:30 tip-off in Los Angeles. And I'm going to go ahead and just review these games because for the past couple of days, I've been skipping like 1 or 2 games just subconsciously. So I'm going to make sure we're going to trust but verify that we're covering all these games. But anyway, Golden State at the Clippers, 10:30 Eastern tip-off in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. The Warriors open 6, up to -6.5. Total open 241, up to 241 and a hook. 72% are leaning Golden State, 64% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Clippers are plus 240 for some money line cash. Now, when it comes to the injury report, big news here. Boogie Cousins has been upgraded to probable for this game. So be on the lookout for that throughout the day. Upload your ESPN apps or whatever apps that you use, your sports apps. Be on the lookout because Boogie Cousins has been upgraded to probable for this night's game. So we may see a Boogie Cousins sighting. Obviously, we probably won't see him in a lot of minutes. But anyway, once again, Boogie Cousins upgraded to probable. Now, the Clippers on their side of things, they've lost their last 4 straight. They're also 0-4 against the spread in that same category. The Clippers are 25th in defensive scoring, 24th in defensive rebounding, and they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 at home. And when it comes to the scoring, the Clippers are 4-2 to the under in their last 6 at the Staples Center. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and take Golden State -6 and the under 241.5 in that one. All right, next and final game for the show. I wasn't even queued up on the right thing. Good God. Next and final game for the show, it is going to be Pelicans at the Blazers, 10:30 tip-off in Portland. The Blazers are -3. Total open 234.5 down to 233 and a hook. 56% are leaning New Orleans, 64% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Pels are plus $1.25 for some money line cash. Now, if you like the Pels on the road here, just keep in mind they're taking on a Portland squad who's 5-2 straight up in their last 7. They successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 6. The Blazers also rank 3rd and 3. Let's try that again, Brock. The Blazers also rank 3rd in free throw percentage, 3rd in offensive rebounding, 1st in total offensive rebounding at home. New Orleans on the other side, well, they're covering just 30% of their games. That tipped off at the current number. Now, when it comes to scoring, New Orleans is just 42% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Portland, 41% to the over, taking on teams allowing more than 102 per contest. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me Portland -3 and the under 233.5 in that one. All right, once again, I just want to trust but verify. We had, Celtics, Grizzlies, we did cover that. I took Boston -10 and the over 206.5 in that one. Heat, Pistons, I took Detroit -1 and the over 207 and a hook in that one. Nets, Magic, I got Orlando in the pick'em and the over 216 in that one. Spurs, Timberwolves, I got Minnesota -1 and the under 225 in that matchup there. Cleveland at Utah. I took Utah minus 15 and the over 214.5 in that one. Pelicans. Portland. I got Portland minus 3 and the under 233.5 in that one. And then Golden State at the Clippers. I got Golden State minus 6 and the under 241.5 in that one. All right, let's go ahead and slide into some college basketball. Very short slate tonight, but we do have 4 games I just want to take a look at, beginning with Maryland at Ohio State. That's going to be a 6:30 tip-off at Ohio State. The Buckeyes open minus 2, up to minus 3. Buckeyes taking a little money in the early going here. Once again, Ohio State open 2, up to minus 3. Total open 138.5, up to 139 and a hook. 54% are leaning Maryland, 67% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Terrapins are plus 135 for some money line cash. Now, Maryland has been very good this season. They're 15-3 straight up